I thought I heard you was like.
No, I'm not.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth!
What's up, y'all? It's Fro, and I'm back again reviewing Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 8, Episode 4. Kimmi invites Tisha and Destiny to meet up and talk about their sit-down with Sunni. Destiny shares her thoughts on her and Sunni's relationship, and it looks like Destiny thought more of the relationship than Sunni did. It seems like she feels even more portrayed by Sunni than by Moses, which is a little backwards. Sunni came to do a job, and that was about all it was for her.
Your co-workers are not your friends.
Speaking of which, Destiny mentions that Sunni was still talking to her after Sunni was let go, and I'm wondering why Sunni was let go. Was it a temporary position, budget cuts, or was she fired for something? What do y'all think? There's a lot of subtlety in this episode, so I'm questioning everything. Tisha and Stormi still aren't on a good page, and neither are Mel and Destiny. Tisha and Destiny say they're ready for whatever smoke comes their way. Kimmi nor Tisha ever mentioned that they had a sit down with Melody, and she insinuated that Martel and Destiny had slept together. So I wonder when that's gonna come out. Nell and Martel meet up and talk about the arrest. He denies having any video and shows Nell the text he sent to Mel, but he's deleted the picture he sent. This is yet another episode of him admitting to committing the crime in question and showing zero remorse. He thinks Melody deserves it. I'd like to know what exactly he believes Melody has done. Sure, there's been a little bit of tit for tat, but this is low. Not to mention, he and his child's mother have leaked horrible things about Melody to social media and bloggers about her childhood, the kids, her parenting, and just about anything else they can find. It's wild that he's even allowed to film at this point, but we'll see how things go now that he has been found guilty. He is a producer, so I'm not sure how things work as far as that is concerned. Also, why does he have Melody saved as Melody Holt in his phone? Nell feels that the kids are going to be most affected by Mel and Martel's feuding, much like her stepdaughter Lexi has been affected by her parents' divorce. Lexi and her mom calling Nell a side chick is a bit ridiculous, considering Lexi's mom and Chris were only married for 2 years back in the 90s or something, and Nell and Chris have been married for almost 30 years now.
Baby, that was a long time ago.
Martel calls Nell an Aryan, meaning that she was a side chick. Just about every time he mentions Aryan, it's always something negative. He's called the lady a peasant.
She was a peasant.
She was a peasant.
She was a peasant.
She was a peasant. Wow, you really said that?
Yeah.
Now he's decided she is the very definition of a side chick, and that's very telling. I'm pretty sure she's asked to not be mentioned on the show, so the least you could do is be saying something positive. Nell didn't come to play with Martel in his comments and said the only mistress around here is the one Martel had.
I'm not Chris' mistress. The only mistress is that side chick he had, Coleslaw. I am Chris's wife. I've been Chris's wife for almost 30 years now. And at this point, this is serious for me, and you're treating it like it's a game. Like you've treated your wife and, you know, your life like a game.
It's the motherfucking Eagle Double G. Snoop Dogg.
Nell tells Martel he isn't invited to her birthday party, and he claims he doesn't care.
Yeah, party. I mean, I don't care about going to no 60-plus-year-old birthday party.
Look at you. You mad. You big man.
We get another Maurice and Marsau lecture. This time it's for Moses. They warn him that the fans are going to eat him and Sunni alive, but he's not concerned. Marsau says it almost cost him his marriage, and he's never told anyone that he almost lost his marriage, but what show have I been watching because he says it every chance he gets? Marsau says Moses is headstrong like Martel, and I think because of the nature of the relationship in Destiny's interviews, Sunni and Moses have kind of had to be on the defense.
Not if you my man. You're just a big old heifer.
Listening to Maurice and Marsau lecture for I don't know how long they were sitting in that room, I wouldn't want to hear what they had to say either. Maurice suggests to sit down with Destiny so that Moses can clear the air publicly. Moses and Destiny do seem to be moving fast. They immediately started trying for a baby once they got married, and they had only been dating a few months before that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they won't have a successful marriage. Latricia and Stormi have a double date at the gym. Latricia shares with Stormi that she lost her parents and her sister and felt like her husband wasn't really there for her through that. She feels like Ken has been a breath of fresh air. Latricia also reveals that she would like to get married, but she's not divorced yet, and Ken was still living with someone when they started dating, so he understood. Martel and Chris talk about Martel's comments about Nell, and Chris tries to get some clarity on what led to Martel's arrest. Martel acts like he is confused about everything, and he really looks like he's been caught red-handed when trying to work his way around the conversation. Chris appears to be over it and looks like he's one deep breath away from turning into Will Smith at the Oscars. Martel says the charges were dropped, but reports say he's been found guilty. This episode made up for what the last episode lacked. A whole lot of tea was dropped, and I'm looking forward to watching it unfold. What's your opinion on this episode? Let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for tuning in with me. I'll be back next week to review episode 5. In the next episode, Moses and Destiny have a heated argument. Tisha gets into it at the gym with Latricia. Melody hangs out with her friends, and Ken is ready to move on to the next step in his relationship. Before you go, please like and comment on this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already.